Space Time Smackdown is here, and with that we have two new packs, one with the God of Time Dialga and one with the God of Space himself, Palkia. And in this video we'll be opening 40 packs of each, so 80 packs in total, and we're gonna find so many new cards and determine which one has the best cards, but also which one has the best luck. And is that Dialga with cards like Pachirisu and Honchkrow, or will it be Palkia with cards like Cynthia and Cresselia and Garchomp? Let's find out. Okay, so today we're gonna open 80 packs as I mentioned. So we're opening 40 Dialga packs and 40 Palkia packs. And I'm quite excited by these new cards, and Shinx is in this deck as well, in this pack set. And I'm super excited by the full art. So I'm hoping to get that one. I am on my second account, so as you can see I will have a lot of hourglasses soon. I have 1,000, so that's plenty to open for a while at least. And how I'm gonna do this is I will open 10 Dialga packs first, then 10 Palkia. I'm starting with Dialga because it's my favorite one. Also the highest chance of getting Shinx because Shinx is in the Dialga pack. And I'll continue until the end, and I'm keeping a track of all the cards that I'm getting, so you can see at the end which pack has the better luck. So let's go straight into it. I've opened already one pack of each on this account. I mean, it's my backup account. If you see my quizzes, this is basically the account I play against in order to set up my short quizzes. But without further ado, let's go open the first 10 packs. Use 120 hourglasses. I've been waiting very long to use these, and I'm very happy to and excited to use them now. So there they are, all 10 packs, and we're going straight line through all of them, and this is so satisfying. I will never get sick of that part. So we started with Baneri. Interesting. I like the design though. It's very cute. It's a cute Pokemon, right? Another Baneri. Okay, they really want me to have Baneri. Drifblim. Okay, hopefully it doesn't steal any children. I mean, it's Drifloon mainly, but Drifblim. Oh, there's Drifloon. There's the child stealer. Nice. And then Togekiss. Ooh, this card I'm quite excited about as well. Even though it is a stage 2, it's not that easy to use, but it has 60 damage on the first turn. Oh, and a Togepi as well. Oh, it goes straight to the next one, of course. Yeah, so Togekiss has 60 HP in the first turn, and then 120 attack on the second turn, which is quite decent for the 2 energy that it needs. However, it can also be Sabrinaed out quite easily, and then you have to restart that sort of cycle again. So I'm not too sure, and also if Cyber is added now, I'm not sure how helpful it is. But next pack we had a Togepi, Finneon, Oddish. I like the knitting designs, right? And then Regirock, ooh, nice. 120 HP, it's similar ability to like Melmetal's where it takes less damage from attacks, but it has, like most fighting types, a high energy cost for not that much damage. So let's see, it's a good wall. And then we have Uxie. Ooh, I kind of want to play around with a deck that combines all Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf. I think there is some potential there. I don't think we'll outperform and become a meta, but I think it's fun to try at least. So next pack, pack number 3, Blossom. For the longest time, I always thought Blossom was a basic Pokemon and not a stage 2. And then we have Duskull, nice. Poochyena, ooh, I like Poochyena. It's mostly used as in most like Pokemon games, but I still like the Pokemon. Nosepass, not my favorite. And Skarmory, ooh, this is nice as well. I like Skarmory as a Pokemon. It's good that Metal has some sort of basic Pokemon that can be a initial starting Pokemon, right? That you put in active position first. Because right now, the Bishop line, yeah. Melmetal, definitely, yeah. At least you have something here, but is it the best? I don't know. Also depends a little bit on how often tools will be used, which I think will be used quite commonly, to be honest. Next pack we have Dusclops, so we have the evolution. Swinub, okay. Gligar, nice. Snover, okay. And Luxio, okay, there we have the middle stage of Shinx. That's an exciting one. Not the most useful, I'll be honest. Also Luxio, I don't like Luxio actually, to be honest. I like Shinx, I like Luxray. Luxio is a bit in the middle. But now we go into pack number 5. We have Ambipom. Ambipom, I love Ambipom. Potential for 80 damage with 1 energy, which is good. Frost Rotom, nice. Oddish again. Floatzel with a attack similar to like an Executor in that sense. And then Giant Cape. So here we have our first Pokemon tool. I think Giant Capes are more useful than potions, right? I mean, in principle, you always get an extra 20 HP, even already are at max HP, which I think is very useful. But on the other hand, you can only stack 1 on each Pokemon, right? You cannot use 2 like you can use with potions. So maybe a mix of a Cape and a potion in a deck would make sense. But for that matter, I'm not too sure. Also, we have a lot of cards now that can damage if you already are damaged, so then a potion would make more sense because the cape would not remove damage on it, it will just increase your max HP, right? So I think there's still use for potions out there, but let's see what happens. Pack number 6. So far we haven't got anything special, and also on this pack there's nothing special. On my main account I got something good in the first 2 packs, this one not so lucky. So we have Magnemine, Burmy, Gloom, Dawn. I think Dawn could be good, right? It's like a Vaporeon ability as a card, and allowing you to move an energy from a bench Pokemon to an active Pokemon. So when you don't want to take the risk of putting all the energy on your active Pokemon, you can save a little bit by putting it on your bench, and then when you really need it, you can always put it to your active one, right? So I think it's a very useful card. And then another Regirock. So far, Dialga packs are not doing me great, but there's at least a free diamond in the back. So now we have Wormadam, Fan Rotom. I'm collecting all the Rotoms. Voltorb. I like this new Voltorb card. This is quite interesting. I'm not sure how... I mean, Voltorb is not that much used. I think Electrode is less useful though, because it also loses its retreat cost, like the free retreat cost basically. And next one, Registeel, nice. So it's another basic type for the metal Pokemon. 90 damage for free energy. Maybe with a Dialga EX that would make sense, but otherwise, that's a good tank. And then we have Mamoswine now. So Mamoswine is a stage 2 with a huge amount of HP. I would love to see Mamoswine actually get an EX card, maybe in the future, of course. But it gets 30 damage reduction from both fire and water types, so that is quite interesting. But it requires 4 energy. But perhaps with Manaphy and other, of course, the cards like Misty, it could be a useful card. So pack 8, still nothing special, which is very sad. So Electabuzz, Lopunny, I'll skip it for good reason. Piloswine, so we have the pre-evo of Mamoswine. Riolu, ooh, I would love to have Lucario, right? And then we have another Blossom. Okay, then pack number 9, Heat Rotom. I'm not gonna check, maybe there's something good. Blossom, I saw there was something good. Duskull again, Slugma, and a full art Krogunk. This is a beautiful card. I love the design of the vending machine. Krogunk trying to save itself basically from the vending machines. I think this is a cool design. And the card itself has a unique move. It's not too useful on the basic, but Toxicroak has the same move with just double the damage, right? And I think there would be more useful. So last of the 10, another Wormadam, but this is a water type, another Rotom, Roserade, which is quite nice as well, Buizel, and Registeel again. Okay, so these were the initial 10 packs. So far, I mean, we got a few triple diamonds, we got 1 full art. Could have been better though, this pack, these 10 packs. But it's a good start. Let's see if Dialga or Palkia can outperform. Okay, so time to open the Palkia pack. So another 10. I think they can easily take the lead. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. Opening all the Palkia pack. Ooh, there was some shiny there. So we start with Roselia. Nice. Porygon. Good. Kricketune. I think Kricketune is quite a cool Pokemon, to be honest. Entrancing Melody, 50 damage, and it makes it confused, which I think is decent. So let's see. Purugly. I think this card combined with Dialga could be insane. I think I might build a deck around that one and do a video on it. But basically what it does is when you attack with Interrupt, you do 60 damage, which is not a lot, but you can see their hand of your opponent and you can choose a card to put back in the deck. So let's say you're facing against the opponent who has a stage 2 line in there, and you see that stage 1 card in there, put it back in their deck, and they have to look for it again. I think that's quite fun. And, of course, you also see their whole hand, so it's like a double benefit, right? So I think this is a really good card. And then we have a full art Spiritomb. I have to say, not my favorite design. It's a cool design, but it's not my favorite one. But I like the move. It's basically, it's a dark type, but it has a colorless move, so you can fit it into any deck. And it has the moves when it does, and does 10 damage to any bench Pokemon, so this could combine in very well with a Cyrus. So far, Palkia is doing better. Fan Rotom, Togepi, Misdreavus, Electrode, and Garchomp. Ooh, we have Garchomp, super cool. So Garchomp is another Dragon type, but luckily compared to other Dragon types, even though it requires a dual energy, it's only 1 of each, right? So that makes it much easier, it doesn't need 4 energy. But with 1 of each, it does 100 damage, and with Cynthia as a potential addition, you can do 150 damage quite early on. I mean, of course, it's a stage 2, and it only has 1 retreat cost, which I think is pretty cool as well. And you can always sort of reshuffle a card in your hand, but you have to discard 1, of course, but you can, if you really need to believe in the heart of the cards, you can use the ability, and you can at least get 1 extra card in your hand at any time, which is pretty cool. Nice, I have Garchomp, I'm very happy about. So now we have Hippopotas. There's 2, I think, full art in this one. We have full art Manaphy. Oh, I think this card is beautiful, right? The best part of this card is, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but there's 4 Pokemon on this card. Servavia, Weasel, Luminion, and Shellos. And if you go to each of their cards, you can see a Manaphy in the background of the art design, which is pretty cool. It's also part of the theme collection, right? So then we have Cricketune again, another Weasel, and another Manaphy. We have 2 Manaphys in one pack. Okay, interesting. Manaphy though, I haven't really gone over it actually yet that much, but Manaphy has potential in my opinion. Of course, it only has 50 HP, but it gives you energy ramping. And energy ramping, as we've seen in the past with Misty and so on and Moltres, they are quite good in most decks, right? So I think it has potential for sure. So now we're going to Burmy Shellos. So here, as I just mentioned, in the background for the Shellos, you see a Manaphy jumping out of the water. I love these sort of like little Easter eggs gimmicks that they do. Then we have Probopass, another Steel type, but starting from a Fighting type. Don't think this one is too useful, it requires a lot of energy, but let's see. Then we have Sneasel, nice. And, ooh, we have a 2-star Cyrus. This is beautiful, I'm happy because I never get 2-star supporters. I'm very happy to get this one. So Cyrus, I think, is a really good card. Of course, it requires that your opponent's card is damaged in order to switch it in. But you can choose which one switches in, right? So compared to Sabrina, this has much more potential. There's more cases where this would be applied. Of course, it needs to be damaged, but maybe by adding in a little Spiritomb, you can always damage any card that's out there. Or maybe connecting with like a Pidgeot EX and so on. There's a lot of ideas here. Oh, sorry, not Pidgeot EX. There's another card I'm thinking of. Articuno, of course. But I think this is, if you can use it, it's really much better than Serena, right? But let's see. Okay, so far this Palkia is doing me much better. So now we have Togetic, Ambipom, Rotom-Mow, Finneon, and Mesprit. So Mesprit is the damage dealer of the Lake Guardians, right? So both Yuxi and Azelf are more supporters in that set. Mesprit is the one that does all the damage. It can do 160 damage, but you need to have Yuxi and Azelf on the bench, and you lose all your energy on this Pokemon, right? So that's quite sad. But I think it's pretty cool. But also the other issue is that all of these Lake Guardians only have 70 HP. Even with a cape you go to 90, but you will be one hit KO'd by most Pokemon that are out there at that stage, right? But 160 damage is insane, but it requires all of them on the bench. Let's see, I'll try something with this deck at one point, but I don't have too much high hope for it, but I think it's quite fun at least. It's new mechanics, and that's what I was hoping for the most. So we go into the next pack. Pack number 6, we have a Magneton, Fan Rotom, Mow Rotom, Wormadam Steel, and another Cyrus, but then just a basic one. Great. Next pack, pack number 7, we have Apom, Gastron. Ooh, is that what I think it is in the back? I think it is what it is. That's pretty insane. We have Gastrodon here. Gastrodon, by the way, again, it does also hit the bench, so this combines again very well with Cyrus. It requires free energy, but still decent enough, I would say. Chimchar, Infernip is insane, but I hope to pack it, let's see. Eevee, again, new Eevee card, there's a lot of them. By this point, it would be funny if you could make this a full Eevee deck. Of course, I know you can't have more than two of a name card in there, but imagine if you can just add 2 of each different card in there, that would be quite fun. Well, let's see what's in the back. We have a Crown Palkia EX. Okay, I'm speechless in that sense, right? I was hoping for something good. This is insanely good. I have the Palkia EX, but it's also the Crown version, which is huge. So by far, Palkia, if you want to have better luck, go for the Palkia pack. Prove it here right now. Interesting. So Palkia caused a lot of controversies online on terms of, is it viable, yes or no? So it is a basic card, first of all, which is already insane with 150 HP. So when you have it in your starting hand, nothing will kill it in a while. Then it has an attack for only 1 energy and does 30 damage, which is also much better than most basic cards that are out there already, right? And then when you do reach that 4 energy mark, you can do 150 damage and do 20 damage to each of the bench Pokemon as well. So that's a huge damage potential. Of course, it requires you to get rid of some energies, but by that point, have you done enough damage already? That is sort of the question. But I think already as a tank plus 1 energy Pokemon, it's insane. Perhaps you can combine it with, I don't know. Of course, Misty is a great addition to this. Maybe Manaphy or Vaporeon could be useful. The Mythical Island Vaporeon, that is. But the Crown card, I'm still speechless, flabbergasted about this, right? So let's go into the next play. I don't think you can beat it anymore. I think Dialga has lost officially right now. So we have Heat Rotom, we have Starly, we have Armor Fossil, we have another Cyrus, and we have Roserade again. And then we go into pack number 9. We have the basic Rotom. I think maybe not the most useful, but it's an interesting one because you can add it again to any deck. 20 to maybe 50 damage as a basic. We have Lumineon. I think the old Lumineon is better, the Mythical Island one, as this one only does 50 damage to the active Pokemon, and it has a retreat cost. Whereas Lumineon with 2 energy needed, of course, but can do 50 to only the bench Pokemon, but it has no retreat cost. I think that was a bit more potential. Rhyhorn, I'm sad about the Rhyhorn, Rhydon, and Rhyperior line. I think it's still not useful enough to be used, and I love the Pokemon evolution line, but sadly I don't think it's that great, but let's see. Roselia and Gabite. Okay, we just need Gibble, and I think I already have Gibble actually. But we have almost a full line complete at least. Chatot, a new Chatot. I think the other one has more useness, of course. This one, it just does damage, but there's better Pokemon out there, I think. Another Starly. Actually, by the way, Starly could be nice by removing all Pokemon tools, right, from an active Pokemon. So in case you're facing a Druddigon with a Rocky Helmet, this one will remove that Rocky Helmet. I'm not sure if then effects still apply off the Rocky Helmet or that happens after. I have no clue. We have to try that out. Ooh, and we have Hippowdon, another fighting type with huge HP, but also huge energy cost. So let's see how good that will be. There's Gibble, because we didn't have Gibble yet, so now the line is complete. And we have Spiritomb again, but then just a regular one. So this is the 10 packs of Palkia, the first 10. And double Manaphy full art, which is great. Cyrus 2-star, which is even better. But then we have the Crown Palkia, right? Look at this card, Crown Palkia EX. I never expected to have this. I think this account has a crown already, but I'm not sure which one. So it's the second crown on this account at least. This is insane. Right, great. Okay, we go back to Dialga. So, let's see. Another 10 packs. Can we get the other crown, perhaps? That would be fun. Seriously doubt it, but who knows? So, there we have the animation. All the cards are coming in. And let's open it, see anything shiny popping out. Yeah, there was two shines I saw. Okay. So, first one we have Combi. Combi, actually not a bad basic Pokemon. You get a random basic Pokemon from your deck into your bench. That's the only issue I have with it, right? It goes directly onto your bench. So you can't really save it, play around with it, time it. So if you have only 4 lines in your deck, then it makes sense because it has to go on the bench regardless. But that means you're also susceptible to bench attacks and to Cyrus, for example, right? Or Sabrinas. Next we have Floatzel again, Krogunk, which is the regular one, another Baneri, and Magcargo. So that line is also complete. Burns is something we haven't discussed yet. Burn is now finally being added to Pocket. What Burn does is it does 20 damage to your opponent, but they can flip to get rid of the burn. They can flip a coin. So it has good potential. I think Poison, of course, is more consistent. You do 20 damage anyways in that sense, but let's see. Next pack we have Vespiquen. Ooh, and this pack has something in the back. I'm cheating. I'm seeing what is there. It's a full art. We have another Lopunny, we have another Eevee again, we have Aipom again, and then we have the full art Heatran. Ooh. So Heatran I think is quite cool. I think this can maybe potentially pair well with Dialga. Both are basics, so you can ramp early on perhaps. It has 120 HP, which is insane, and it does 110 damage. Of course it has some recoil, but if you can get this online early enough, I think it has good potential. So there we have another Combi again. Yanma, I think Yanmega EX, by the way. I hope to get that one. Yanmega EX, pretty good as well. Fan Rotom, and there we have the Drifloon full art. Oh, this is cool. No children on this picture, luckily. But you see a nice little travel agenda, I guess what it is, or like a general agenda with a Drifloon in the back. I think it's a pretty cool card. Drifloon itself, is decent enough. I don't think it will break any metas or so on, but it's pretty cool. And then we have Regigigas. Ooh, nice. So this card again is another interesting one, right? It has 140 HP, but requires 4 energy to attack, and it has 4 retreat cost. But as it has massive HP, it also has massive damage potential because the attack does more damage based on amount of damage on Regigigas. So let's say you are only at the 40 HP left, it means you do 150 damage as an attack, which is pretty insane. Maybe pairs well again with Dialga, giving you 2 energy. That means you can get Regigigas online quite early. Again, I think Dialga will be a staple in this meta for sure, because ramping with 2 energy, having a strong basic tank on the line is pretty insane. But let's see. Next pack, Stunky. By the way, I showed this card to my girlfriend because I showed all the cards to her. She was saying that his face looks like an ass, and now I can unsee it. It does look like a butt. Again, let's skip that. Oddish again, Baneri again, Mightyena, okay card, nothing special, and Regirock again. Then another Lopunny, another Eevee, Magneton. I didn't go through this card before. In this case, Magneton loses its ability, but it has a simpler attack. But Magmazone is quite sad, unfortunately. I don't think it will be too useful. And then we have Voltorb again. I do love the design of this Voltorb, by the way. The speeding along the power lines with the train track. I think it's quite fun. And we have Tangrowth. Ooh, this is quite fun. So Tangrowth, I think, is interesting as well, again. I'm using the word interesting a lot, I know. It's part of me, I'm sorry. But Tangrowth has 130 HP and does 90 damage with Mega Drain, which I think is pretty decent because it also heals you, right? So it's a stage 1 as well. Of course, 4 energy is quite high, but there's a lot of ramping Pokemon out there now that could potentially be used as well. Who knows? Maybe there's some potential here and there. Next pack, pack number 6, Fan Rotom, Wash Rotom, Gloom, Bronzong, which is quite nice as well. It's a Steel type, stage 1, 60 damage with Guard Press, and then you take 20 damage less next turn, which I think is decent-ish. Not the highest of damage, still a high energy cost, high retreat cost. I don't know, don't think it's too useful, but it's nice. And then we have Shaman. Did already have... that was... I was like, why is it not new? It's because I packed this in my first 2 packs that I did. Shaman has a very good ability, right? It's a basic Pokemon, low HP, but it heals 10 damage from each of your Pokemon, similar to like Butterfree. But the exception is, this one is a basic, and Butterfree is a stage 2. So I think Shaman could be a really good card to add to certain decks when you have room for just another basic Pokemon. Just to have that consistent damage dealing in, but also is a good prevention against cards like Cyrus. If Cyrus become very popular, it basically guarantees that your bench will stay healthy as well, which I think is pretty important right now. Okay, next pack, pack 7, another Dusclops, Roselia, Gligar again, Ralts, a new Ralts, which is much better than the original Ralts. It's similar to Magikarp's from Mythical Island, where you can basically put an energy on, but then also immediately put it back to the bench, so you don't need to waste an X speed or an energy to retreat this, which is really good. And we have the Full Art Mesprit, which is also a beautiful card, right? Because it combines both Uxie, Azelf, and Mesprit on one card. It's a similar sort of color scheme as Manaphy, and I really like this design for sure. Again, we discussed this card. We'll see what happens there. Then we have pack number 8, another Wash Rotom, an Ambipom, Riolu again. I'm still waiting for Lucario. We have Skuntank, decent enough. I mean, nothing groundbreaking, and Skarmory. And then we go into the pack number 9, and there is 2 cards in here. There's an EX and a Full Art. Nice. I'm very excited to see the EX because I haven't seen the EX yet. So we have Electabuzz. Both Magmar and Electabuzz have got a new cards, and they all do the same thing. They basically are energy rampers for themselves, and both Electivire and Magmortar have high energy requirements, right? So I think it ties in very well. So I'm interested to see if they become quite decent to use. I also wonder what happens to Blaine. Does Blaine apply to Magmortar or only to Magmar? Because it would be nice if it also applies to Magmortar, right? So there we have Full Art Bidoof. Oh, this card is so fun. Of course, this was one of the earlier leaked Full Arts. I've seen it before, of course. With many Bidoofs on the card. I think Bidoof actually is quite decent. It requires 2 energy, of course. But with Super Fang, you basically halve your opponent's HP. And as a basic little Bidoof, I think that is quite decent. Bibarel, if I remember correctly, also requires 2 energy and does 60 damage. So perhaps if you're fighting against a 120 HP Pokemon, you could 2-hit KO it, which I think is pretty decent for a Pokemon like Bidoof, right? Or you can tie this in very well again with Dialga, because you immediately get this 2 energy that you need as well. Then we have Snover again, and Gligar, and we have Gallade EX. Ooh. Gallade has huge HP, right? And only requires 2 energy to attack, and similar to like Alakazam and Jinx, does more damage based on the energy on the active Pokemon of your opponent. Is this the most useful card? I don't know. My main issue is like 70 is decent. Let's say at that stage you will face Pokemon that have free energy perhaps on them. Means an additional 60, you go to 130, which is quite a good amount. But it's a stage 2. You need a Curly and a Ralts, which don't get any benefit because they are Psychic Pokemon, right? It has low retreat cost though. And maybe by combining it with Lucario, it could be good. But then you have a lot of lines or cards in your deck. I don't know. And also again, Ralts and Curly don't benefit from Lucario, right? But let's see, like the HP at least is really decent, but you still get 1 KO by Mewtwo because you're weak to Psychic. So let's see. Then we have Kirlia. So this is new Kirlia. Of course, as I mentioned, they are made for Gallade, meaning they have colorless attacks, but they still don't get the benefit from Lucario, right? So it's depends on what you want to use, of course. Then we have Eevee again, Togetic, another Kirlia, same pack, and Dusknoir. I think Dusknoir is quite an interesting card that's been added, right? It's not been spoken about much, I feel like. It's a stage 2, which is the worst part of it. But it has a lot of HP, and it uses that HP to sort of soak up damage from any Pokemon on the field. So let's say you add this to a Mewtwo deck. I'm gonna leave a lot of lines. Maybe you add this to another decent Psychic deck, and then you can soak up damage so you can leave in your active Pokemon for longer. Perhaps if you add this in with the Lake Trio, that could work. Because they have low HP, and having this damage soaking up in the back is pretty decent. 78 damage for free energy, not that useful. I think the main use will be the ability, not so much the attacking potential. But maybe with the Lake Trio, could be good. Okay, so these were the 10 packs again for Dialga. They caught up a little bit. They have a few full arts here and there. But I have a few nice triple diamonds as well. Of course, triple diamonds are always the hardest cards to collect all of, so I'm more happy to get those than the full arts, to be honest. But for content-wise, I want the full arts. Let's see, Shaman we have now, Mesprit, talked about that one, Bidoof, which is insane, and then Dusclops, and the Gallade EX, the first EX we finally have as well. So I was looking actually in the offer mix before I go into the next 10 packs. So here you can get a Palkia and Dialga EX. I realize you can get both crowns in each pack, meaning you can get the Dialga crown in the Palkia pack and the Palkia crown in the Dialga pack and vice versa. So there is potential that we get another crown in the next 10 Palkia packs, so let's see, would be fun. Maybe a God pack. I've never gotten a God pack yet, so I'm hoping for the day that happens finally as well. So there we have the 10 packs. Let's go open them again. We see one shiny. Okay, not that many. Let's see. Start with Togepi. There we have Uxie. So as I mentioned, Uxie is more supporting role to Mesprit, where it takes a psychic energy from your energy zone and puts it on Mesprit, or as of only. But this helps a lot with Mesprit losing free energy whenever you attack, right? So it could be good potential. We have Wormadam again, Ambipom again, and Bastiodon. Oh, this is a cool card. I think this is something that will lift up the steel types for sure. Bastiodon has insane HP and has an insane ability where it has a 50% chance to reduce the opponent's attack by 100, which is insane, right? Of course, it has high retreat cost, but it has decent attacking potential. Like 80 is not bad either. So perhaps if you have a Dialga Bastiodon deck, you're guaranteed to start with Dialga, as you have to start with a fossil for Bastiodon, so you don't get a fossil in your hand. So you start with Dialga at any time, and then you can slowly build up your Bastiodon and put that one in to soak up damage. Also, it's not an EX, right? So the opponent only gets 1 point from this. It's weak to fire, so Infernape I think is the biggest threat to this one, perhaps, or Charizard of course, but let's see. But then you have this ability to always survive another attack if needed, so I think this is a really good card and something that Steel really needs, or Metal for that matter. Ooh, Drapion. I was hoping to get this card. So Drapion is an interesting new mechanic. It does 40 damage, and it increases by 40 for each. It does 40 for each coin flip that is heads, and you flip 4 coins, so max of 160. But if you have 2 heads, you also poison, meaning it's a max of 170, I would say, in 1 turn, right? And that for stage 1 is not bad at all. So combining this with a few potential cards that are out there, I think is interesting. But again, it's very luck based. If you look at it on average, you will do 80 damage if you just say you get 2 heads, but then you also poison, which is still decent enough, I would say. I think it has potential. Then we have Snover, again, Scorpy, so we have the pre-EV for 2 Drapion, another Wormadam Steel, and then we have the Full Art Staraptor. This is another beautiful design, I have to say, seeing all the Starly and Staravia floating around as well. And Staraptor is one of my favorite Pokemon. I actually grew up mostly with Gen 4, I'll be honest. Gen 4 is the game I played the most, Diamond Pearl, so Staraptor is actually one of the Pokemon I always had at my team because it was such a cool Pokemon as a kid, and I still love it as well, to be honest. But it has a free energy cost for the move Clutch, which is similar to Arbok or Galvantula, where it has the defending Pokemon cannot retreat, right? And I think, again, I'm putting out loads of cards that can fit well with Dialga, but I think, again, Staraptor can fit quite well with Dialga for that matter. So let's go into the next pack. So far, so good. Shallows, nice. Slugma again. Cynthia. So now we can finally have a look at that card. I'm hoping to get the 2-star of Cynthia. Who doesn't? I think Cynthia is most people's favorite champion for that matter. Also, the music that I use in my puzzle shorts is the Cynthia battle theme. The music at the start that I used in this video actually is the Volo theme, so sort of based on the Cynthia theme. Cynthia in general just has a lot of popularity, right? But this card, interesting as it applies to 2 specific Pokemon, both Garchomp and Togekiss. You can do in 50 extra damage. For that reason, I think Togekiss becomes more potential, because then your initial attack can be 110 and then your second attack is 120, or you can combine it on your second, do 170 at punch, which is quite decent. And same with Garchomp, you are able to do 150 damage, which is pretty insane. It allows you to OHKO most of the things that are out there. So really good card. Armor Fossil, and then we have a Full Art Gastrodon. I think this is a pretty cool card design as well, because I love the coral colors, and with both the Gastrodon forms as well in the middle. Really cool card. We went over it before. I just want to sort of rate the art. Really fun. Next, another Eevee. I think ever after the Eevee video that I did, I'm getting spammed by Eevees, both also in Genetic Apex packs. I got spammed by Eevees. Let's see. Turtwig, nice. Okay, my favorite starter line of this gen is Empoleon, but I really like Torterra as well. But they did Torterra very dirty in this set. Torterra, I don't think has much potential, sadly. Even though I love the Pokemon, I was hoping for it to be like a really good wall. Has some unique ability or so, but it really doesn't have anything that makes it decent enough, in my opinion. But Turtwig is fun. I like it. Collect 3 Turtwigs or 3 of any starters, and you get the icon. Super nice as well. Porygon. I'm hoping to get Porygon Z. Abomasnow. So we have seen Snover quite a few times, and now we see Abomasnow. It's a stage 1 with a lot of HP, but also high damage growth and high retreat. Don't think it's too useful, but nice card. Then we have Magnezone. So I mentioned this card before, right? It's not the best. It's a stage 2. It's 140 HP, which is okay, but then it has a free damage of a free energy move, only doing 110 damage, and you lose energy from it. I don't think it's good enough to have in any deck. Also, especially in most electric decks, or lightning decks, you want to call it, you are more dependent on like lower energy cost Pokemon with lower retreats. This one doesn't really fit in well with most of the other cards that are out there. But again, maybe someone proves me wrong. Again, I was very wrong with Gyarados, for example, last set. So who knows? I'm not the expert on this for sure. So now we have Regice, and we have another Full Art in the back. So this one has Crystal Body, which prevents all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. If it was to prevent any effect, it would have been cool. But only to this Pokemon, yeah, could be useful. You can't get poisoned, you can't get sleep, and so on. If those things become more regular in the meta, I think it has potential, but otherwise, it's a decent card, but nothing special or amazing in my opinion. Poochyena again, Chimchar, Scorpy, and we have the Full Art Glameow. I think this is such a beautiful design. Of course, Glameow is a very posh Pokemon, if you put it that way. But in looking in the mirror, or her, before it evolves into Barugly is quite a fun twist in that sense. So really cool card. And Glameow itself, I mean, Barugly, as I mentioned, is quite useful. Glameow, I mean, has a potential to do 40 damage, which is not bad either for 1 energy, right? So not bad, not bad. So now we have Slugma. Turtwig again, so one more and I get the icon. Azelf, so here is the last of the Lake Trio that we are missing, right? So Azelf has the move Psychic Arrow, and that does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so it's a bench hitter or active Pokemon hitter. I think it's the one that ties in the least with all the Lake Trios. I think Mesprit and Yuxi are then more sort of synergized. Azelf lies a little bit of an outsider, doesn't fit in too well with the other two. But it does maybe work well with a Cyrus card in the deck as well, right? And then you can use Mesprit to massive damage to whatever's damage out there. Then we have Ambipom and Cresselia. So there has been some debates on Cresselia EX, but now we have the regular Cresselia, another triple diamond, which I'm very happy to get because they are hard to get. With the move Moonlight Gain, which heals 20 from you, but also does 50 damage at the same time. As a basic, I think it's pretty decent. Good HP, retreat cost is 2, so you can use Leave. But does it tie well in with other psychic decks that are out there? I'm not too sure about that one, but it has potential maybe. I hope someone proves me wrong on this one. So we're going to the next, like, it's Glameow, the regular one, Macargo, Snover again, Starly again, and Garchomp again. Happy to get my second Garchomp. Ooh, we have Empoleon. Again, another starter that was added in this set, of course, with the move Aqua Jet. So it has good HP, and Aqua Jet does 80 damage and 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So I think one of the themes that we see a lot in this set is that a lot of Pokemon can attack the bench, and that's why I think Cyrus is added at the right time as well, is I think that might become more prevalent to use for sure. But I think it's a decent enough Pokemon. It doesn't do the most damage, of course, and it's a stage 2er, so I don't think it will be used frequently, but it's quite a fun Pokemon. I was hoping it would have an EX, but I think it's also nice to give some other Pokemon more EX and leave the starters out for now, and maybe in future sets they can add them. But that's it for now. Then we have Sneasel, Togepi, Oddish again, Mars. Mars, I think, is great. Mars is like a superior premium red card, right? What it does is that your opponent has to put all their cards back into their deck and only takes the cards back for the remaining points that they need to win. So let's say your opponent is 2 points up, they can only get 1 card back in their hand. At least by that stage, maybe you've already lost a little bit if they're 2 points up. But maybe I think it's most potential when they are 1 point up, right? It's very early on still. Maybe they're still missing a few stages that they need and they only get 2 cards in their hand after. I think this is a really good card. I think red card is no point anymore. This is better. However, of course, it's a supporter, so you cannot really mix it potentially that well with other supporters. But I think it's really fun at least. Next pack, pack number 9. We have another Chatot, another Burmy, Rhydon as we see here, Apom, and Staraptor, the regular art, which again is pretty cool. And last pack, pack 10, another Gibble, another Rhyhorn, another Rhydon, we just got one, Gloom, and Spiritomb. Okay, those were the next 10 packs here. Really good cards. I'm happy to get Bastion, Drapion is cool, the Full Art Staraptor, Full Art Gastrodon is pretty sick, Full Art Glameow, we have the Yuxi and Azelf as well now, Cresselia, Empoleon. Good cards in this one for sure, but again I'm missing EXs. Let's see, one shine, only one shine, okay. There we have Shinx, finally! Oh, we finally have myself, I packed myself. I think this is a very cute art design. I still wanted full art, right? But here we have Shinx with the move Hide. It's basically like Vulpix's attack, where you flip a coin and if heads, all damage next turn is prevented and effects as well to this Pokemon. So it's a good basic Pokemon ability to have, I think, in my opinion. But it's not something you rely on, of course, but it's something nice to have in case you do need to play it and have an energy on there early on. Next we have Wash Rotom, no, Azelf again, okay, Voltorb again, and Probopass. I'm happy to get Shinx at least. We have another Stunky. The Barrel is finally here as well, ties in well with Bidoof in my opinion. And then we have Bidoof behind it, great. The Cargo. And another Bidoof. Okay, this is the Bidoof pack, right? 2 Bidoofs and a Bibarel. It's basically whatever this art is, sort of in an actual pack design. But let's go to the next pack, pack number 3. Electabuzz, Curlia, Drifloon, Honchkrow. Honchkrow is quite cool. It's good for Dark to get kind of these kind of bench hitters as well. It does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, similar to like Seadra. It can take anything, but it has 2 retreat cost, which is quite high in my opinion. But 100 HP, which is decent enough, and it's a different weakness for Dark as well as a weak to Lightning, right? And then we have Electivire. Ooh, a triple diamond. I'm very happy with this one. 120 HP, decent. Only requires 2 energy to attack at least initially, decent. But if you have 2 more energy, there's another 80 damage, which is pretty insane. And this also pairs in quite well with Volkner, who can give, I think 1 energy, or was it 2 energy? Let me remember. It gives decent energy to Electivire specifically as well. And Electabuzz also has this ramping ability, right, to have more energy on it. So I think this is actually a really good card, and a really good card for Lightning decks as well. It's only stage 1 and it has potential to do 120 damage quite early on, which is pretty good. So next, another Shinx. I don't mind. I'm gonna flare this whole Shinx up completely, so I don't mind getting tons of Shinxes, to be honest. We have Nosepass, Team Galactic Grunt. So this is actually some card I also want to mention. If I'm gonna try out a Dialga Paragli deck, I'm gonna add Grunts, and they would be super helpful, right? Because then I can ramp up Paragli as soon as I can, hopefully with Dialga as well, and that disrupts your opponent's deck of a sort of a strategy immediately early on, which is what you need when you put a card back in the opponent's deck, right? So I want to try that out. I think Grunt is really good for that reason. Does it work well with Stunky, Krogunk? Not too sure, but it's good to have another card in there if you are running Stunky or Krogunk, right? Because it gives you this drawing ability, which is really good. And then we have Stunky and another Electivire, really nice. Great pack. So there we have Lopunny, Wash Rotom, Probopass, another Wash Rotom, and Heatran, the regular one. Great. We go into the next pack, pack number 6, Drifblim, Weasel, Burmy, Wormadam, and there we have Luxray. Nice, I'm very happy I got this card as well. So now I have the full line complete. Luxray is a decent card in my opinion. Stage 2 of course, 130 HP, and has the move Volt Bolt, which requires 3 energy, which is quite steep. But you can do 120 damage to any of your opponent's Pokemon, right? So you can hit the bench for 120. The issue though is this would be great when they are trying to prepare something on the bench, but this being a stage 2 makes it quite late in the game. And also Volkner only works on this once really something has been KO'd that had energy on it, right? Otherwise you cannot use Volkner because it takes energy from the discard pile, not from the energy zone. But really good card, but you get rid of all your energy, right? So it's like a one-hit use. I'm not too sure it will be too viable, but has no retreat cost, which is decent. So you could potentially hit, leave, and then have Electivire in there again, right? Or something like that. So really good card. I think maybe an Electivire Luxray deck could be good. Next pack, Dusclops, Finneon, Duskull, Hitmontop, which is nice. Decent damage, maybe also with Lucario combined, could be good. And then Leafeon, so we have the other evolution that has been added. With Leafy Cyclone, it's in stage 1 move, 90 damage, but you can't use it next turn. So I'm not sure how viable it is, but it's good to have some options here and there as well. There is Volkner, the card I just mentioned. So what Volkner does, as I mentioned, it gives you 2 energy to either Electivire or Luxray, but it is taken from the discard pile, meaning something has to be knocked out before that had energy on it in order for you to use Volkner. So for that reason, I'm not too sure how useful it will be, but at least you never lose the energy that you have. So I think it makes sense that you are more aggressive when you use Volkner, put more energy on your active Pokemon, and once it dies, you can still get the energy back, right? That is sort of the idea behind Volkner, which I think is good for Electivire, especially Luxray as well, but Luxray itself is maybe less useful. So there we have Baneri again, another Fan Rotom. I'm getting so many Rotoms. Another Drifloon, and let's see what the full art is. Full art Lucario, yes! I am so excited about this card. I think this card is my favorite new mechanic that has been added. Because what it does, it gives you 20 extra damage to any fighting type. Lucario itself doesn't have the best move, but it does 60 damage naturally. But you can also stack Lucarios, right? So you can have 2 Lucarios on the bench, giving you a 40 damage boost. So let's say you have something in like a Hitmonlee, I think that damage boost also applies then to hitting the bench. So you can hit the bench for 70, right? Which is pretty insane. So a lot of potential here, a lot of interesting decks that are forming in my mind that you can build around Lucario, which I would love to try out. So I'm very happy to get a full art from this one. And then we go to the next pack, pack number 9. We have a Togepi and 2 full arts already. Another full art Mesprit, again, really cool card. We have Bronzor, we have Croagunk again, and we have the full art Tangrowth. Nice, so we have another new full art. Super happy on this one. And then we go to pack number 10, another Croagunk, Duskull. We have Dawn again, Gligar, and let's see what the EX is. We have Darkrai EX. Ooh, this is a cool card. It's a basic Dark EX with a lot of HP, and that is something that Dark again needs a lot. Because right now it has a lot of like these higher stages, evolutions. But this is a good basic type. It does 80 damage with free energy, which is maybe not the best, but if you attach energy to Darkrai, you can do 20 damage to any Pokemon. No, sorry, not any. You can only do 220 to your own opponent's active Pokemon, which is still decent enough. So if you have free energy on there, that means you have already done 60 damage, and then you can do another 80 on top, which is pretty decent in my opinion. But I think after you have free energy on there, you're not going to add more energy on top to win, in my opinion. But cool card, I like it. So those were the 10 packs again. So now we're at 30. We have 2 Shinxes, which I'm super happy about. We had the Bidoof pack with 2 Bidoofs. We have Electivires now. We have the Galactic Runs, another Heatran, Luxray you have now. And we have Lucario, which I think is my favorite from this set. Next 10 Palkia packs. Let's see, anything shiny popping out? Nothing. Ooh, that's not a good sign. So we have another Turtwig. I think the icon I have now. Heat Rotom again. Wormadam Steel. Shieldon, so now we have the Bastiodon line complete. I think Shieldon is quite fun actually, because it has a lot of HP for a stage 1, right? Because in my mind Shieldon is also like a baby Pokemon, but just it has a lot of HP. Of course it makes sense because it's also a fossil, it needs some more HP. But it's decent enough. We have Prinplup. We're still missing Piplup though. Another Cyrus, another Burmy, another Rhyhorn, another Wormadam, another Shieldon. Okay. Porygon, still waiting for Porygon Z. Ooh, I see an EX in the back. I see an EX. A Abomasnow, Lickitung. There's a new Lickitung, but I still prefer the old one because both have the same energy cost, but the other one is just more fun to use, right? Wash Rotom. Maybe we get a Licky EX? No, we get actually a 2-star Infernape EX. This is insane. Oh, I'm super happy with this one. Infernape, in my opinion, is insane. First of all, 170 HP, which is already super high. It's a stage 2, of course, that's its biggest downside. But it can attack with 2 energy, do 140 damage, which is a huge amount. It loses all energy, fair, but it has no retreat cost. And I think that makes this card super special. So having this in, let's say you have 2 energy on there, you attack your opponent, 140, which is insane, you lose the energy. But then next turn you just retreat and put in Moltres. And then you just energy ramp it up again and then use it again. I think the Moltres Infernape combination is potential new meta in my opinion. Again, don't take my advice seriously. I'm not the expert on all of this, but I think it's quite cool. And I have the 2-star, which is insane. Okay, next pack we have Ambipom, Heat Rotom, Spiritomb, Frost Rotom, Gastrodon, okay, fine pack, nothing special. Another Luminion, Magnemite, Apom, Piplup. Oh, Piplup is my favorite starter of Gen 4 by far. So I'm hoping to get the icon as soon as I can. Of course, my backup account, so I don't care too much, but it's still nice. Cricketune, Magneton, Chatot, Scorpy, Magneton. So now we're getting a lot of duplicates. Luminion again, Lickitung again, Wormadam, Nosepass, Regice. Eevee, Voltorb, Floatzel, Rhydon. I'm going fast for these. Gloom, Apon, Luminion, Snover, and a triple diamond. Glaceon. Okay, we're finding something new to talk about again. Another evolution, Glaceon, 90 HP, and has the move Ice Beam, which can potentially paralyze the opponent's Pokemon. Is an okay card. I mean, relying on a flip to paralyze, it's okay. Could be better, but besides that, it's decent enough in my opinion. But I don't think it will become a staple in any deck for that matter. Frost Rotom, Apom, Manaphy we have, the regular one now. Oddish and Rhyperior. Okay, this is a new card we can talk about. Another triple diamond, which I'm very happy about. With the move Mountain Swing, which does an insane amount of damage, but it requires you to discard the top 3 cards of your deck. So first of all, it has high energy cost, it's a stage 2, high retreat cost, and you have to retreat cards, discard cards from your deck. It feels like too many downsides for it to be good, sadly. I was hoping for a good Rhyperior, because I like the line, the evolution line, but this is not it, sadly. However, if someone can make it work, feel free to try. Okay, so these 10 packs, honestly, this Infernape makes it good. I'm very happy with this one. I don't care that the rest is a bit shitty. But right here, at least we have a few triple diamonds that I didn't have before. Let's see. Okay, hopefully some more shinies this time. Let's see. Nothing again, so it's a bit sad. Okay, we start with Togetic, Voltorb, Ralts, Pucci, and Dusclops. I'm going a bit faster because we have seen most of the cards now. Electabuzz, Dawn, Electabuzz again, and Probopass. That's a lot of Electabuzzes in one pack. He's Rotom, Duskull, another Team Galactic Grunt, another Gligar, and Leafeon again. Wormadam Grass, Scorpy, Gloom, Roserade, and Rampardos. This is a card that I was hoping Rhyperior would be, because Rampardos I think is an insane card. It's a stage 2, fair, but 150 HP, decent enough. 2 retreat cost, decent enough, but the key is in this move, right? You only need 1 energy, first of all. You do 130 damage, which is insane. And in case you KO the opponent's Pokemon, you deal 50 damage to yourself. But 130 damage is insane for 1 energy. So maybe having Lucario's on the side as well, which you can ramp up. You don't need to put energy on this, which is really good. It potentially synergizes with Lucario. Maybe you can synergize it with like Shaman or so. It could potentially work in a dual energy deck, right? As you only need 1 fighting energy. A lot of potential here by far, which I'm very, very excited to try out. Next pack, Nosepass, Gligar, Voltorb, Togetic, Drifblim. Nothing new, nothing exciting. Another Burmy, another Luxio, Croagunk, Bronzong. We're missing some good cards. Oddish, Eevee, Aipom, another Grunt, another Magneton. Nothing good again. Skullfossil, Drifloon, Grunt, Burmy, Floatzel. We're flying through these packs because there's nothing good in here. Bombasnow, Eevee, Wormadam, Magnemite, Blossom. Last pack at least something? Okay, there's a full art at least. Drifloon, Honchkrow, Gligar, Swinub, and a full art Heatran again. I think it's a very cool design. Actually, something I forgot to mention before. If you see the Pokemon in this card, so being Rhydon, Magcargo, Skarmory, if you go to their regular cards, you can see they're also in the same cave. So another little Easter egg that you can look into, which is quite fun. But a bit of a sad 10 packs. I mean, I'm happy with Rampardos, didn't have that before yet. Still missing Cranidos, I think, actually. Another full art, which is nice, but nothing too exciting, sadly. So hopefully Palkia treats us better. Pretty fun, pretty insane. Let's see what we get. Some shinies this time. Can they beat Dialga? Nothing again. I think my pack luck is gone. But there is an EX in the back. That's good. Voltorb, Chatot, Hippopotas, which is nice. Rocky Helmet, a card I haven't spoken about yet, so finally get to talk some more about cards. Rocky Helmet is a pretty cool card in my opinion. It's basically Druddigon's ability in a tool. So you can give this to any Pokemon, and whenever they get attacked, they deal 20 damage back, right? And I think many people talked about putting this on Druddigon so you do 40 damage back. I think its potential lies in other cards, to be honest. Let's say you put this on a Gyarados, so you can win against other Gyarados more easily. Because when they attack you, you do 20 damage back to them. I don't know, I think it ties in very well with these high HP stage 2s and so on, where they are maybe facing a mirror match, or like where they're just missing 20 damage to knock out some of these higher HP mons. I think that's where the potential lies. I'm not so much on Druddigon. But again, we'll see what happens, right? I mean, people will try it out and the meta will stick. But let's see what the EX is. It's Licky EX. This card is pretty good, in my opinion. Decent HP. It's a stage 1 as well. And it does 100 damage standard, but it does 40 more until you get a Tails. So you have the potential to do like an insane amount of damage. It has unlimited cap, but you always have this base of 100. So it's an improved genetic Apex Licky Tongue, which if you remember from my video, can be quite fun as well. But I think if you have a Dialga and this, that could be a really good combination as well. Again, I'm combining everything with Dialga, but I think it's pretty cool. Next pack, pack 2, Magmar. We haven't seen Magmar yet. I think the card design is insane, right? It's basically like okay, I've never watched a boxing match or wrestling match, but like when the people like start walking out towards the ring, that's what it feels like with the music playing in the background. It's pretty cool card design. And of course, the energy thing is good. We haven't seen Magmortar yet either, though, so I'm hoping to get that one. And there's another EX in the back, and I think it might be a 2-star. Let's see. Rhyhorn, Perugly again, Rotom, and let's see. It's Licky 2-star. Wow. So even though we didn't see the shines from the pack opening, there is a really good card here. So we have the second Licky EX. I'm just missing the Dialga EXs, and then I can make a very fun deck on this account at least. But yeah, really cool card, as I just mentioned. Next pack, Wormadam, Piplup, Kricketune, Regice, Shieldon, Starly, Magnemite, Floatzel, Hippopotas, and Magcargo. Another Perugly, Nosepass, Slugma, Misdreavus, and then there's a triple diamond in the back. Let's see if it's Magmortar. No, it's Bastiodon again. Nice. Then we have Regirock, another triple diamond in the back. Sneasel. I'm hoping to show Weavile EX. That would have been nice. Turtwig. And Torterra. Here's the card that I mentioned before, where I think it's a bit sad, where it doesn't have the potential that I was hoping would have. Because it's a stage 2, high HP, fair, yes, but it does 150 damage for 4 energy, and then you can't attack it next turn. And then you have high retreat, because it's not that you can just retreat it out and attack with something else. So I think this is a bit sad. Let's go continue. Gabite, Sneasel, Misdreavus, Rotom, and then the triple diamond is Rhyperior again. Next pack, another triple diamond in the back. Burmy, Chatot, Mars. Nice to get the second one. Apom, and triple diamond is Empoleon. And then pack number 9, we have Sneasel, Perugly, Hippopotas, Wash Rotom, and Electrode. Last pack, nothing special, sadly. Roserade, Nosepass, Lickitung, Regirock. Okay, that's it. That's it for this pack opening, sadly. But we get the Licky EX, we get the Licky EX 2-star as well. We get a few more triple diamonds here and there. We get Torterra finally as well. Still missing quite a few cards I was hoping to get, especially the EXs. But that's it for this pack opening. But now we have to go and compare. Okay, let's see. These are all the cards that we collected, and now we're gonna compare which has been the better pack. Was it Palkia or was it Dialga? I think we know the answer. It's pretty clear from one very specific card that I got in the Palkia pack. But as you can see right now, I've collected 132 cards, 50 stars, and 1 crown. I'm missing a lot of cards still that I was hoping to get, especially the EXs, Yanmega EX being one of them, of course. Magmortar I was hoping to get. Infinite EX I have, luckily the 2-star version of. I almost have all the waters. I have Manaphy, which I'm happy about. Miss Magia's EX is something I'm missing, which would have been fun to show as well. Of course, you have seen the cards probably yourself before. I don't want to go to every single card that is out there, because that's not this video is about. It's a pack opening in the end, of course. I just want to give you a little bit of my opinion here and there. Of course, the Dialga EX I'm missing, which would have been nice to have, of course, to show. But I guess you've definitely seen that one. And a few of the tools that we've not shown here. We have all the supporters though, which is nice, and a lot of full arts. And then we have the Infernape 2-star. We're super happy about that one. We have a Licky 2-star, insane card as well. We have the Cyrus 2-star, which I'm also super grateful about. And then we have the Palkia crown, which is the highlight of this thing, and that makes Palkia the winner of this pack opening. Palkia is the better pack. Open that one if you want a higher luck. Unless I sucked all the luck out of it, then you should open the Dialga one. Again, it was just a fun little gimmick I added just to make it a little bit more exciting to open these packs. But if you enjoyed this pack opening, feel free to please leave a like and subscribe. We're doing insanely well lately, almost reaching 2,000 subscribers, which I'm super happy about. And hopefully I'll do some more videos soon. I'm actually planning another pack battle for next week. So you have something to look forward to if you subscribe now, so you can stay updated and wait for that one. Peace!